There are many, many articles online, also many documentaries, videos, or podcasts in which self-help gurus or mental health professionals, yes, mental health professionals, speak about losing or dumping toxic people or getting rid of toxic relationships. And often those articles, videos, podcasts, documentaries, they give you this idea. They don't do it on purpose, well, some do, but they give you this idea that once you drop a toxic individual or you cut off a toxic relationship, that bang, things are going to be easy. You're going to be so relieved. Okay, let's go to reality now. Let's say now, okay, I'm going to give a parable onto you. You have Jennifer. Jennifer grew up in a town in, let me think of, in Minnesota. She got into drugs at age 16 and she got involved with a wrong guy. She became pregnant. She had 2 children. She divorced the guy very quickly because the guy was beating her. She ended up having to live with her parents. Jennifer became born again. She joined a local church, but the people were deceiving her at the church. She was almost led into an abusive marriage by one of those churchgoers. So she left church. Her parents claimed to be Christians, claimed to love Jesus, but oh dear, they were so negative-minded. So Jennifer, after finding out about what narcissism is, what polar disorder, and what's that other name again? Borderline. When she found out about all those disorders, and once she gained insight about the paranormal, about the demonic realm, it's then that she realized that all the people she grew up with were narcissists. Some overt narcissists, others covert. Some also had borderline traits. She realized that everyone she grew up with were narcissists. There was only one girl during high school who was what they consider in the world normal, who was empathic and all of it. And she was so shocked. It took her over a year to process this realization that everyone she grew up with was a narcissist and that her parents were reprobates. Now, if you would tell this Jennifer, just cut those toxic people off, your life will be better, is that really true? Of course, her life will eventually be better, but if she cut all those toxic people off, she'll be left with no one. Because everyone she knows is a narcissist, and she just realized this. What happens now is that she needs to cut all those people off, and she needs to replace them with other people. So now she needs to realize that the way she related to people in general may also be narcissistic, because she grew up amongst narcissists. Now, she's not a narcissist herself, but she developed narcissistic traits, so she needs to unlearn those. Because those narcissistic traits may draw other narcissists onto her, or it may give others the impression that she's a narcissist, while she's not. So now she needs to unlearn how she attached to other people, and now she needs to learn at a late age how to relate to people in a healthy manner. And that can be difficult, but she'll have to go through it, through the unlearning and learning of new ways of relating to people. And the tendency is there to fall back on her old ways, because her old ways are comfortable. And here's the thing. How is she going to find someone that's not a narcissist if she grew up with only narcissists around her? So if she cuts off toxic relationships, that's just the beginning. She needs to heal, she needs to recover, and she needs to expand. She needs to remain active, so she will never feel this urge to go back to the past again. So it is true that by cutting off toxic people or by removing yourself from toxic people, that your life will be better, but it will eventually be better. But only if healing takes place. Or else you will go from one toxic gang to another toxic gang. Now, why am I recording this message? I want you to be aware of the trick the enemy is using on people in need. I told this before often. The enemy wants to bring you from bad to worse, but there's a space of relief in between. Now, many of those online material that talk about remove yourself from toxic people, I'm not saying they intend to harm you. They mean well, but what they're telling you isn't true. It's not true in a sense that they don't give you the full context. Now, the case of this fictive Jennifer is an extreme one. Everyone you grew up with was a narcissist. Now, maybe that's not your case. Maybe in your case, just a few people were disturbed. But nevertheless, a few people disturbed can keep a whole community in bondage. And what if your community is in denial? How are you going to deal with that? Many of those, much of the material online about remove yourself from toxic people, they don't give you the proper context. And because of this, you are tricked into a quick fix mentality. You think if I just do this and this will happen. And I told you before, beware of quick fixes. Quick fixes, if not combined with long-term solutions, is just a distraction that will bring you from bad to worse. I know some of you don't want to hear this, but there is no easy road to recovery. Well, the length of the journey to recovery depends on what you've been through or how deep the deception was inside of you. And it also depends on your investment in the deception. But there is no easy road to recovery. You will have to go through the deliverance process. Don't look for shortcuts and short-term fixes. Agree with Christ. Be at peace.